Hey everybody, welcome to For the Rock. This is a big, long, crazy video, so please stick around. Just before we get into it, I'm going to lay some ground rules. If you've been around the channel for a number of years, you're probably familiar with this, but I want to reiterate because every single time it seems like certain people don't get it. Please listen. This is the top 25 records of the year so far in 2024. Instead of doing 4 quarterly videos, we're going to change it to 3 third videos. Basically, I was a little late getting to this to do the first 3 months of the year, so we're going to do it every 4 months instead. I'm also reworking the layout. So what we're going to do, we got 25 releases that I'm going to show to you guys as my top recommendations so far this year. And this isn't including any singles. This is a list of EPs and albums that have come out since January 1st, 2024, up until the end of April 2024. So anything that released at the beginning of May, that's going to be in the next video months down the road if those make it on the list. But so we got 25 releases. The first 10, so 25 through number 16, I'm just going to show you guys. I'm not going to do a full talk through. I think depending on how I edit this, I think I'm just going to go into a quick 10-second preview of each one with the artwork, the audio, and that's it. We're going to keep it simple just to cut down on some of the editing time, but it still takes time to collect this, like to collect the sounds, the images, and this type of video is a lot of work. So those bands are going to be just kind of shown. This is coming off of a list of at least 50 plus albums. I'm not entirely sure of the amount, but that would keep track of the year. There's more, but this is, what we got. And then 15 through number 1, we are going to actually talk about a little bit. I'll keep it brief as much as I can, but it'll be like the more traditional style of this video that you may be familiar with. Also, ground rules. These are my opinions of my favorites. So this isn't me comparing these bands and saying that this band is better than this band. This is like, for this music that they released, what do I enjoy more? And like, I've tried to make it a blend of smaller bands that I want to promote a little bit more, plus a variety of genres. Being honest with myself as far as what I take into consideration in between production, lyrics, artwork, basically everything. I try and big melting pot in my brain, and this is kind of what came out of it. So I made some last minute adjustments and being sure I'm being fairly honest. The easiest way to think about this, if you're going to be super nitpicky, because this isn't about being like, this is the undisputed best. This is my favorites, just for this scenario. But you could almost take every 5 in their own separate chunk. So like 25 through 5 or 25 through 21, 20 through 16, 15 through 11. If you take them in chunks, you could kind of almost rearrange them in that category within itself. It's not a big deal. I want to be fair to everybody. But yeah, I want to give this a long spiel off the bat because I get a lot of comments on these videos. This is all subjective. This is all my opinion. You guys will have totally different lists. You guys will have totally different thoughts and opinions. So feel free to share them down below. It's not a competition. This is just a way for me to share these bands. That is all this is. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you find some new music because I can guarantee you that you guys have not heard all of these before. Just judging from what the experience of my audience, you guys will find something new here, okay? Not every single one of these bands go by the title of Christian band. Most of them do. Like, the vast majority of these bands would be like, yeah, we're a Christian band. But everybody has different opinions on that term. Some bands, Christians in a band, that they're not trying to be an outreach. They're not trying to be They're not super missionally minded as far as the music goes, but all these bands made up by a vast majority of Christians. It's mostly bands that have that message at the forefront of what they're doing. So let's be gracious. I think all these bands hopefully will appreciate being in this list, even if they don't necessarily go by the Christian band name, and I'm hoping that's the case. So it's all good, solid music that I can recommend as a Christian to another Christian, and then also to any of you who are just checking out this video and you come across it and you're like, hey, let's check it out. I hope there's stuff in here that you will enjoy. And yeah, with all that being said, let's hop into it. So number 25 through 16, I'll have the full list in the description. Don't go and look until you've watched this all and you want to find which one's which, because I don't want to spoil it, but go look in the description. You can see who's what if you're curious. But 25 through 16, we're just going to play some previews here for you. And hopefully there's something that you enjoy. And we'll see you in a few minutes, and we'll start talking about 15 through 1. All right, here we go. some great, incredible music, some that completely deserve some recognition, and I wish I could talk about all these bands, but right now I can't. Also, at the end of the year, we're going to be doing my top 10, top 20, top 25, however we're going to do it, like the full for the entire year. And this way, with this format, I'm hoping is that these 3 videos making up the third of the year, 25 in each. So that's 75 albums that I want to share to you to let you guys know that you should go check out, that I can fully recommend. At the end of the year, we'll do like a reevaluation of my picks and where they sit, and we'll do the final top video. The top bands in each one will then kind of like compete to get my top spot for album of the year. And also it's a way that I can go back and maybe there was some releases that sneak up and I missed. Even getting this list together, it always happens where later in the year I'll come across another band and be like, oh, they released this in January or February, like I hadn't heard of it. So these top bands aren't necessarily going to be my album of the year. They're not necessarily going to be high up in the top. Like, everything could change, but this kind of gives a good perspective of what I think is the best so far. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the year, because this first 4 months of 2024 have been absolutely stacked. So yeah. All right. So number 15, we have a new band called Nations with their debut EP called Hollow. This came out January 19th. And the metalcore, hardcore, mostly metalcore. Yeah, this is a band from Sao Paulo, pretty far away from most bands in the scene, and this is a welcome sight. They got some really good stuff here. Solid production, not like the absolute best, but great artwork. Lyrics are good, and it's just heavy, bouncy metalcore. It's kind of got almost genty moments at times, but they even have a song with Garrett Russell from Silent Planet, and yeah, just overall, it's a super solid, sick EP, and I think you should check it out.
So filled with
14. This is I'm kind of cheating on this one, but it is technically just one album. It's split into 2 EPs. It's a split. We got Take from Las Vegas, Take and the Forerunner, with basically a split album. It's called The Beginning of Sorrows. So it's not really the best way of describing it, but it's like the Forerunner. It's kind of its own EP. It's like hardcore hymns, and then Take, it's The Beginning of Sorrows. Is kind of how I listed it in my digital library. But absolutely sick. Both bands feature vocalist John Gagnon. Sorry, I don't want to butcher your name, but John, we've been friends on Facebook for years, and he's just an awesome dude. But yeah, he's the vocalist of both of these bands, lead vocalist. And yeah, both bands, hardcore. Forerunner is a bit more metalcore-esque hardcore, and just very awesome, like hardcore hymns. It's just straight up heavy worship. This is just the stuff that got me into this music, and yeah, absolutely love it. Take has some really good songs. And yeah, you should check out both of these records together. It's a super sick split. And also, shout out to Resuscitation Records. You can go grab a vinyl copy of these together as a split. Super sick. I have a separate video out for that if you wanted to check it out.
We'll sing your
All right, next up is the band called Flood, all caps, Flood. And they have a new record called Ripped into Exile. This was really solid. They released, I believe, their first album, Polarized, in early 2022, I think January 1st. And it wasn't on streaming for the longest time, but it is now available on streaming. Ripped into Exile is their second record. Really like the artwork. It's kind of showing, I guess, a concept of the Garden of Eden. Yeah, this is where I'm not too great at knowing like the subcategories within these genres, but I would just classify this as heavy metal. Kind of that old school classic, I don't know, 90s like heavy metal thrash kind of production and sound. But yeah, just a super awesome band. I honestly don't know too much about them. Some pretty popular musicians in the band. Yeah, kind of one of those dream team bands that a lot of classic guys in the scene. And yeah, definitely check out Flood and their new record, Ripped into Exile.
The taste on my tongue looks so good, so I ate. So how do I have that for hate? Oh, what is this place? I can't remember without grace. Ripped into exile, the damage is done. Help me find my way. After the fall, we look for.
Number 12, we've talked about this band a little bit before, but I'm really excited to have something this high up. Slithered X, or just Slithered. New EP called Vanity of Vanities / All is Vanity. This thing is awesome. 6 songs, 14 minutes. If you haven't heard of this band before, they actually had a really great album, I thought, called You Will Be Disappointed in 2023. And I really like what this guy's doing. I believe it's a solo artist. It's a weird blend of like black metal, shoegaze, death metal, and like it's a weird blend of sounds. It's different. It's unique. This EP just really came together. A lot of it themed around Jesus on the cross, kind of Easter themed. Came out late February. But yeah, just I really, really enjoyed my time with this one, and I want to listen to it again actually right now. All right, next up is a brand new modern metalcore band called Fighting Regress, and they have a new EP out, self-titled EP. And yeah, this one is just, it's sick. It's just super solid metalcore. We've had a couple awesome metalcore releases mentioned in the first batch of bands from 25 to 16 there's a few in there that are just really solid, but yeah, these guys came out and they just nailed it. It's super punchy. It's literally the stuff that I would have absolutely fallen in love with as a teenager getting into metalcore. Like, this would have been top tier. And yeah, absolutely love it. Great stuff. Hope to see these guys come out with something more soon.
My own disgracefulness, choosing a side. Won't feel your emptiness, I don't feel right. He's shaking me again, ego must break. I won't let you take me down. I won't let you take me down.
All right, Top 10 time. Now this is where it gets juicy. All right. We got a wide range of genres represented. Stoked. Anyways, number 10, Seventh Day Slumber with their new album, Fractured Paradise. Hard rock, alt metal. Just, I love how Seventh Day Slumber, I would say as they get older, like this band's been around for a long time, but yeah, some of the guys in the band have been around for a long time. But we also got a couple younger guys. One just recently married. Congratulations, Blaze and Maggie. Yeah, just awesome, really solid hard rock, alt metal, modern metal, radio friendly in a lot of ways, but this band kind of always has. But these guys have really cranked it up and dove into a heavier sound, more breakdowns, more just kind of heavy riffs, and it's awesome. I like it. I dig where these guys are going. I don't know if it's necessarily the best album the band has ever done. I haven't actually spent like a whole solid amount of time with it. But I want to listen to it a bit more. But if you listen to their album from a couple of years ago, it's just that direction even more. And they have a lot of big name collaborations on it from the secular scene. And I think that's really helping them reach possibly a new audience. Yeah, awesome record. Top 10. Let's do it.
Surviving the wasteland, becoming a world full of walking dead, the shell of a human. We're losing ourselves in the search for something to feel again.
All right, number 9. So far, my favorite deathcore record of the year. One of the heaviest records of the year. The other one was mentioned a bit before, but yeah, both absolutely great. Scapegoat earlier. This one is Desolate Tomb, Scorned by Misery. Just love everything about this record. It's got the production, the writing, the artwork. Everything is just super duper good. Really digging it. Yeah, this is a one-man band. Dakota absolutely nailed it on this record. Super heavy. Go and check it out. Desolate Tomb, Scorned by Misery. Next up at number 8, we have Pipe Bomb with their debut EP called The Stomp. I guess this is another solo artist. Lots of solo artists these days. Pipe Bomb, this is something new, a bit different in the scene. Chaotic hardcore. I guess you could probably, I wouldn't say it's a direct comparison, but if you're looking for kind of the rough vein that it's in, think Earthgroans, kind of like that chaotic hardcore sound. But definitely all his own different sound. I'm really digging it. What a great debut. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Next up, we have a short and sweet EP / album, I guess, if you take it with the instrumentals that they released. Eonia, the Passing EP. This is just super sick, straight up progressive metalcore, super technical, got beautiful guitar parts, and the writing is just absolutely astounding. Some of my favorite music this year, obviously being top 7 of EP. I just wish this was a full album of all, 8 to 10 to 12 tracks of just being a solid album, because this thing absolutely rips. These songs are magnificent. So yeah, love Eonia, and can't wait for more as always.
So I can live. so I could live again. You gave your life for mine. Now I must live. Now I must live for you. You gave your life for mine, so I could live. So I could live again. You gave your life for mine.
Next up, we got a brand new band, number 6, Boneyard, and their Cages EP. This is a melodic hardcore band. I actually got to meet one of the guys in the band when I met Meadows last, I guess, 2 years ago, year and a half ago now in Seattle. Yeah, Elijah was he was filling in bass for them. He was their merch guy, but also from Birmingham, Alabama, like Meadows. Definitely, if you like Meadows, you're going to like Boneyard. Not exactly the same by any means, but similar melodic hardcore sound. Definitely would fit on a tour together perfectly. But yeah, this was just a sick debut EP. So go and check it out. Boneyard Cages.
Take this time. Where are you? I'm begging. Where are you? My faith is fading. Where are you?
Number 5. This is something different for me to put up this high, but I finally got to listen to this just a week or so before filming this. Eternal Gaze with Winter's Womb. This was just not what I expected. I really liked Eternal Gaze's first album, but I think I connected with this one a lot more. It's shoegaze, black metal. It's definitely like black metal inspired vocals, and like the production on the vocals, it's very airy. It's very kind of high pitched. Kind of, you'll probably get what I'm talking about when you hear it. But I thought the writing was very different. There was a lot of like rock riffs in there. Like it was just different. I hadn't heard anything like this. But there's times where I felt like the writing and the vocals mesh. Like, this is going to sound crazy to some of you, but this is what I thought of when I listened to this band was Winter's Womb from Eternal Gaze. I thought if the band Falling Up made a black metal album or like shoegazy black metal, like this is what I would picture. Like, there was similarities in the melodies and just some of the writing. I'm like, this sounds like Falling Up but black metal. Like, it's so weird. I could be completely out of it. I don't know, but this is what I thought of, and I really enjoyed it. So definitely check out Eternal Gaze, Winter's Womb. Something different. You can just tell by the artwork. Like, it's just something different and unique, and I really appreciate that. Some of you, this is where it starts getting a little spicy, and some of you guys might start disagreeing with my picks, but this is just kind of where I'm feeling as of right now. I kind of gave these albums listen throughs again, and this is what I'm feeling. So this could change by the end of the year, could change next week, but I think this is kind of where they fall into place for me. So number 4, Project 86. Omni Part 2, just absolutely insane record. A lot of thought and writing went into this. A lot of production, especially with the visuals and the videos. It's crazy. But this is part 2 of a 2-part album called Omni. Especially if you put both together, it's absolutely insane. A long album. But I think sound-wise, I would almost say like they are 2 separate albums. I think they do stand apart. Part 2 is like overall, I'd say it's heavier. And I think it was just more refined for the sound that they were going for. And this is the official end of Project 86 as we know it. But it's going into a whole new future as a band with this sound. And it's going to be, I think, referred to as P86 Omni. I think is what I take that with a grain of salt. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. But Project 86 as a project going out with an absolute bang. Definitely, I think, one of their best albums. But I know this is like a drastically different band from when the early days of the band. And so as the sound has gone, it's crazy though. This is one of those bands where it's like as they've aged, at least the front man, and like they've been around for so long, it's just gotten heavier. So I dig it. I was debating about putting this higher on the list, but the top 3 are just personally for me albums that I'll probably come back to more often. But absolutely amazing work. Loved Omni Part 2. All right, number 3. This I was debating on all 3 of these where they fit, but I think this is just personally where I'm at right now. Meadows, Familiar with Pain. This is my top 3. I know some of you guys are screaming at me right now. It's Meadows. It's melodic hardcore. Love these boys. Still have that from when I saw them, and we just had a recent interview with them on the Kingdom Core podcast. As of filming this right now, that was our last interview that we've recorded, that we've released. Familiar with Pain, absolutely amazing concept record of the Easter season and Jesus going to the cross and just telling that story in a melodic hardcore record. It was absolutely spot on. Loved it. Go and check it out if you haven't, because if you're sleeping on this guy, if you guys are sleeping on them, I don't know what you're doing. You're doing something wrong.
Remember the pain of life fading. The sun is love of a spark. You see the pulse in the dark. And I remember the pain. I remember everything. My wounds itch when they heal. They cry more. And more and more. And more and more attention. We find strength in the waiting.
All right, so number 2. This one, some of you might not have heard of, but it's just like an extreme like death metal record. Absolutely blew me away as a debut. This is actually a fellow YouTuber's project. Drew Creel is a solo man behind this project. It's called Zaphon. This thing was mind-blowing. Like, look at the art. Yeah, just incredible work. Full-length album just kind of came out of nowhere. Brand new project, mid-January, and yeah, what a debut. It hurt not to put this as my number 1, and you guys know me. It's only more recent years that I've gotten more into death metal, but yeah, this was astounding. This was so good. Do not miss this one. If you've made it this far in the video, let's keep the tradition going. Drop a pizza in the comments. I want to know that you guys watched it this far, and this is only for those of you who have watched it all the way through. Okay? No cheating. And if you haven't watched the whole video, go back, rewind it, and watch the whole thing, and then comment pizza when you get here. Okay? Thank you. All right. Number 1, maybe you've guessed it at this point for what's missing, but so far, my favorite album of the year, Reflection by Spoken. Yeah, I just love this record. It's so good. Spoken is, I think, low key one of my favorite bands, even though like they never like come to mind when you first think of what is your favorite band. They've always just kind of been there, releasing amazing records, and it's the band's seen a lot of lineup changes over the years, but the last couple of years now it's been pretty solid with JR from Love and Death and Matt Baird being the vocalist. Then we got a couple newer guys, Dylan Lavernock and Jared Weisner. Yeah, this band with this lineup, just incredible. Love the art direction, the video production that they've done, and the title track, Reflection, which you'll hear in a sec. It's my favorite riff of the year so far, possibly one of my favorite riffs of the last few years. Like, it's so good, it's so catchy. It got stuck in my head for so long. But yeah, this album is solid. It's 14 songs, 57 minutes 15 seconds, so it's basically an hour long. Just super solid album. We got a feature from Ryan Clark. We got a feature from Brian Head Welch. And also, this was the first record released on Brian's new record label that he founded. So that's awesome. Crossover Records. Yeah, I'm absolutely stoked that this album, I think, to me, lived up to my hype. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. And yeah, well done, Spoken. Yeah, I can't wait to listen to this album more. It's just super solid hard rock, alt metal, modern metal stuff, and just chunky, bouncy, great lyrics. And yeah, Spoken has always been, I think, the diamond in the rough of the Christian metal scene. Yeah, don't sleep on this record. Go and listen to it if you haven't heard it yet. Thank you all so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys found something new that you can go enjoy, something that speaks to you, that blesses you, and go and support these bands and these artists. Go check them out, show them some love, go follow them on socials and streaming services, and go check out their music, go buy some merch, do something. This is just the beginning, guys. There's going to be 2 more lists like this, and that still won't be everything that comes out this year, but definitely all the top tier stuff. Also, check out the list below. We have the full final list if you need to re-look at something, but we have some honorable mentions in there as well that are definitely worth checking out, that I wanted to mention, but it was kind of hard to, it was so hard to like decide who makes it and who doesn't. So go and check out those bands. They deserve some love. Yeah, that is it. We'll see you guys for another one of these type of videos in about 4 months from now. Until then, God bless, peace, and go and jam some music.